you for joining Heartland Japan webinar. This will be the ninth time. Since we have a short 30-minute session, I would like to get started right away. I'm Keijiro Sawano, CEO of Heartland Japan. Did you know the travel into Japan is currently booming worldwide? However, the peak season, spring and autumn, see a heavy concentration of the travelers. The June brings the rainy season, while July and August sweltering. Consequently, visitors numbers are lower during these months. That brings us to today's topic, winter. In fact, that period from December to February is a hidden gem. Major tourist destinations and big cities like Tokyo, Kyoto, and Osaka rarely see the significant snow accumulation, and accommodations there have plenty of the vacancies. It's also little known that popular hiking routes like Kumano and Nakasendo can be walked in the winter, and that lodging is readily available along them. Our guest today is Amy Chavez. As an expert on snow-based activity, she will be sharing her insight of traveling in Japan during the winter. Amy, it's your turn.
Thank you very much, KG. Welcome everyone to the webinar. I am so excited to be here because my favorite season in Japan is winter. And I came to Japan about 30 something years ago, and I've traveled around quite a bit. But the thing to, I guess, keep in mind is that in those days, Japan as a country the whole thing was a hidden gem. So then we have now the tourist boom, which is great. But things have changed a lot. So all of us are constantly looking for places that aren't overrun with tourists and that have their own charm and where you can really feel that old Japanese hospitality and feel special, right? So to explain my background, this is in Hokkaido. And the photo is of Daisetsuzan National Park. And inside that park is Mount Asahidake. And that's a photo of Asahidake. It's a live volcano. And those aren't clouds, those are fumaroles. What you can see there are fumaroles in the background. And if you look really closely down near the bottom, are some snowshoers and some cross-country skiers. So that's the kind of thing you can do in Japan. There's so many special things. So let's get started. I'm going to share my screen. Okay, so I'm going to talk about the hidden gems of winter tourism in Japan. And it's all winter adventure from powder to paddle. And there's some really interesting things that we're going to learn about. And first, I just wanted to let you know that I have written quite a bit about Japan, from a book on tourist manners to also a book on another hidden gem in Japan in the Seto-inland Sea, some of the islands there. So we have right now, as I mentioned, we're dealing with over-tourism and the current travel situation, which is really, probably people have heard about it. There are just so many people everywhere. And even in the winter, it seems like the crowds are concentrated in certain places. So I'm going to talk about that current situation. I'm going to share with you my secret strategies for enjoying a winter trip to Japan. And we're going to talk about some hidden gem travel itineraries. And I do have a article on the Heartland Japan website, and it's called Japan Winter Snow Activities. It's Not All Skiing. So that can be found down here at this link. Maybe KG could put the link into the chat so people can go to it easily. So right now, the popular places, there's a lot of overcrowding, skyrocketing prices for lodging, meals, attractions, and sometimes you will pay double to what you will in other areas. And while I know that some people are okay with the prices and it's still, maybe cheap for them. It's not even really a Japanese concept to go and charge some people double and others not. It's a country about equality and making things affordable so that skiing everyone can do it rather than just limiting it to those people with a lot of money. And but because of the over-tourism, also the quality is being sacrificed. And again, in Japan, quality is number one. But when they have too many people, then the quality, they just can't deliver like they have been able to before. And that is a problem for them. They don't feel right in that way either. So here's a photo of some overcrowding in Niseko, Japan. Everyone goes to Niseko to ski, and it's a great place. But yeah, if you look at that lift line, and this is kind of typical, it's long lines for everything. It's the lifts, but also transportation and restaurants. So when I did my first guiding in Hokkaido, I had two guys, and they wanted to go to Niseko, of course. They were from the US, and they have special ski passes, and they wanted Niseko was on the ski passes, and they wanted to go there. So I said, okay. But I thought, oh my gosh, what am I going to do? Because there's already too many people there. And so this is another picture. This is the family lift, and the family lift is the very bottom of the slope. So a lot of people have to take this lift just to get onto the mountain. And if you notice, it's snowing. And of course, on a powder day, you're going to have the biggest crowds. But yeah, that's a lot of people. And it does constantly snow in Niseko and many parts of Japan in the winter, but especially Hokkaido, it snows constantly. So we have a lot of crowds to deal with here. And then just one more, in case you're not convinced, is the Hirafu gondola line in Niseko. And some of these photos were taken on sunny days. And it's not like the lift is closed or anything. This is really how long the gondola line can be. So people do complain a bit. They're like, hey, I paid 10,000 yen for a ticket and I have to wait an hour in line. So this is what I was faced with. Also, as I said, it's not just the lines, the lift lines. You've got these prices. And first of all, there aren't enough restaurants in Niseko. And I'm not sure why. Maybe because it's a short season, so a lot of restaurants can't make it the rest of the year round. I don't know. But as a result, there are lots of food trucks. And I mean, you can at least get something to eat without having to wait in a line, which is good. But Niseko is also a very cold place, which is why the powder snow is so good. So standing out in the freezing cold and eating is just something you have to do. And if you look closely there at the prices, there's one over here. It says assorted tempura. And for one person, for five, it's either 5 or 6 pieces, I forget, it's 6,000 yen. Now that's just crazy. I couldn't believe it. And then they give you a great deal for two people. It's 12,000 yen, exactly double. So this really, I feel like we're being kind of lied and cheated, right? And a small bowl of rice is 1,000 yen. So I don't know. I think that most people when they go skiing, they want to be able to go to a nice restaurant after, kick back, in warmth, have some drinks and talk about the day. And that's what it should be. So, but in Niseko, because of the restaurant, there are so few, you have to make your reservations months in advance. And when I was guiding these two guys, they had made their reservation. They had told me they wanted to go to Niseko in September, and everything was really booked. We got accommodation kind of in the middle of nowhere. And we waited in lines to get into a restaurant, and we paid 3,000 yen for a bowl of ramen, which should have cost about 1,000 yen. So I did manage to think of a few other things to kind of mitigate the crowds. We did one day of helicopter skiing And we did one day of snow cat skiing in, the snow machines that compact the snow. They take you out to places that there are no lifts or anything. And we did some skiing there. And then we did one day at a different resort called Risutsu. So that kind of helped. But yeah, I wished I had had a little bit more ideas. So my secret strategy to enjoying winter in Japan is subtle shifts. So you all you have to do is make a subtle shift in either your location or your timing, and it changes everything completely. So when I was in Niseko, I couldn't really shift the location very much, and I couldn't shift the timing very much because we were already, going. We knew we were going to a specific place. But the next year, I managed to actually shift. And whenever you shift, you're going to find something that is a hidden gem, and it's often better than what you were trying to do in the first place. So, the first thing you can do is shift your location. So, if you're in Hokkaido and you're at Niseko Hirafu is the main town there, you can stay in Kuchan instead, which is 15 minutes away. And Kuchan actually has more restaurants. It has a train station right there. It has buses that go to all of the ski resorts, the four resorts that are part of Niseko. So it's just better all around because you have no crowds to deal with and it's more local atmosphere. If you're in Furano Ski Resort, you rather than staying on the up at the resort itself, where it is ski in, ski out, but you can stay in downtown Furano City, which is 20 minutes away. And that's where all of the really good restaurants are. Matter of fact, if you stay up at the resort, the people there will tell you that, oh, the restaurants, they're all down in Furano City. And again, there's a train station right there, and buses leave all morning long from the front of the station. If you're in Honshu at Nagano, now this was where the guys I was guiding skiing wanted to go the second year. Again, they told me in September, which is not enough time. So I looked in Hakuba, everything, all of the accommodation was taken, all of the rental cars were taken. So I started looking around for somewhere else just to shift the location a slight bit. And I found this lovely town called Omachi. And when I was looking at it, I it I thought it was a lot bigger because they had so many transportation connections there. There's a train station. There are buses that go all over the place. And when the guys came, they only have a week, so they like to ski on the same day that they arrive. So I put them on a bus from Nagano Station up to Hakuba so they could get a half day skiing in. And then I took their luggage and I went to Omachi, set everything up, and then I met them at Nagano Station and took them to Omachi. And there, we were the only foreigners around. And there's a tourist agency there. And one of the women who works there, she spoke really good English. And she told me, "Oh, you've got to go to this restaurant. It's really good. I've been going there since I was in high school," right? She told us, "Oh, take the train station, or the train to Hakuba, and while you go through the forest, be sure to be on the lookout for the wild animals, the sero, which is a like a this this goat-like animal that's specific to, I think, Japan." And we saw these things and we did these things all because we had this local knowledge from a place that is just an absolute hidden gem. In addition, every Saturday night they had like free food for, tourists, and they had little origami paper workshops and things, and the guys absolutely loved it. They really, really liked it. It was so much better for them to have that real experience. Now, also Omachi, they have snowshoe tours, so you really don't have to ski at all to really enjoy winter in Japan. It also has, because of the 1998 Winter Olympics in Hakuba, The Omachi has the Olympic cross-country ski track that you can experience yourself. There's an alpine museum there, and there's just loads of stuff to do. Then another option is just choose a hidden gem location from the beginning, right? So say, okay, maybe we, don't want to go to a crowded place like Niseko or Furano. Let's go to Norikura, which is in Nagano, and they have great snowshoeing tours there. You can go to Hakoda, which is in the northern part of Japan, and Aomori, the very top of the island of Honshu. You can go downhill skiing there if you want, but you can also go snowshoeing, and you have these tours that take you through the snow monsters, which there's a photo there of one, but they have a whole forest of these because there's so much snow that the pine trees just collect all the snow and they look like monsters. And if you're really into skiing and that's not enough, we have something even more special, which is your private ski resort for a day. And you can actually rent this resort for a day of skiing. And beginners, intermediates, advanced, they have staff there with a lift going. And that's really incredible. And I don't think you'd find that anywhere else. So the next thing, getting back to shifting, is you can shift your timing and just try a different season for some of the things that you want to come to Japan or bring people to Japan for anyway. So try to, of course, avoid the peak seasons and try to travel instead during the off season. So if people want to come to do the Kumano Kodo pilgrimage, they can come in winter. They don't have to come in the spring or the fall when it's just so many people. And if you come in the winter, it's not that cold. It doesn't snow much. And in December, January, and February, there's no one there. So there's plenty of accommodation. And it's just a joy because you can really take in the atmosphere and the forests and the snow if there is some. Now it's hard to generalize. There are several routes in the Kumano Kodo, but we recommend two. One is the Nakahechi, and it's quiet in winter with plenty of accommodation and an occasional dusting of snow. And then there's the Iseji route, which is the warmest one because it goes along the ocean, so it gets almost no snow. So, as Keiji said earlier, the Kumano Kodo in winter is a hidden gem. I mean, no one knows about this. So this is Kumano Kodo. In case you were wondering, this very famous photo, I'm sure you've seen, and that's what we're talking about here. Imagine having this place all to yourself. So a little bit about the Kumano Kodo. It's some people call it the Kumano Pilgrimage. The trails follow a network of pilgrimage routes that connect the three grand shrines. There's the Kumano Shrine, the Kumano Hayatama, and the Kumano Nachi, which that last photo was the Kumano Nachi with waterfall. And the trails pass through the Kii Peninsula in Wakayama. So this is the Kii Peninsula here. So you've got Osaka here, Tokyo way over here, Nagoya in the middle. Keep this picture in mind because we're going to take a little bit closer look at that. So this is the peninsula, the Kii Peninsula. It's this map is not to scale, it's just to help you envision the routes that we're talking about. So option A is the Nakahechi. It's 70 kilometers. It gets an occasional dusting of snow. It goes through forest, mountain passes, and valley hamlets. There's the longer Iseji trail, and it goes by sea cliffs and has some cobblestone passes, some torii gates, and it also ends up at the Kumano Sanzen, those three shrines, and that's 160 to 170 kilometers. So here's a picture of the Kumano Kodo, the Nakahechi Trail. It's very well taken care of. and it's easy to hike as far as, it being everything is set and signposted and it's beautiful. It's really, it goes through the mountains. Yeah, it's just awesome. This is a really typical passage. So in addition to the Kumano Kodo pilgrimage, you can also try other hiking routes. So, getting back to shifting the timing again and avoiding the peak seasons and traveling in the off season. So, first, we have the Kumano pilgrimage, and then also another one is the Nakasendo Road. And this can also be walked in winter, but it gets a little bit of snow, so you might want to have what they call in Japanese chain spikes, which to me sounds really scary, but it's not. It's just something you fit over your shoes, over your regular hiking boots. And that way, if there's a patch of ice or anything on the trail, then you can use those. We even used them in when I was living in Niseko for 2 seasons for just walking around there too, just because it's nice to have some grip on your shoes. I think also these days there are some other newer boots, hiking boots that come out that have very good grips that are specifically for ice. And so I use those now. There are two routes. One's the Magome to Tsumago route, and the other route is the Yabuhara to Narai route. And there is a little snow, so it's just something that as tour operators we should be aware of. But if you use your chain spikes and if you take the necessary steps to prepare for any risks, then it's just an incredible experience to do in the winter time. So Nakasendo in winter is another of our hidden gems. What is the Nakasendo? Okay, it's one of the major historical routes of the Edo period, which was from 1603 to 1868. That's when Japan was closed to a lot of the rest of the world. And it connected Kyoto with Tokyo, which was called Edo then. And it was used by feudal lords and samurai, merchants and pilgrims. And it's famous for its post towns along the way. There are like 68 of them, and they're called juku. So juku means post town, and it just means a town where travelers could stop for rest and eat, stay overnight. And the entire route is 526 kilometers long, or 327 miles, but not many people do the whole thing. The most famous part of it is actually 2-day hikes, which are very crowded in summer, but again, in the winter, not at all. And so it's in Nagano Prefecture, and it also borders parts of it in Gifu right here. And this is a close-up that kind of shows you like a 2-hour walk between these two post towns, which I'm going to show you next. Here's a schematic map. And so the first very well-trodden path is Magome to Tsumago. It's 8 kilometers, goes to there. Then the next part is Yabuhara to Narai. And they're absolutely delightful. They've been preserved, these post towns. You just feel like you're walking back in time. And wait till you see the trail itself. So this is one of the towns, Narai, that you go through, and they have little restaurants along the way, some souvenir shops and stuff. It's pretty much the same architecture as it was then. And this is the trail. Talk about a groomed trail, right? And a lot of it is stones like this. And so it's kind of an easy walk in that you don't have to go try to break through the trail yourself. And here it is in the snow. So it's not a lot of snow, but just a little bit to make it interesting. So these are, completely empty in the wintertime. Now, the thing about Japan, and one reason I love it so much in the wintertime, and it's my favorite season, is that everything in Japan becomes magical in snow. There's lots of snow. It's light. It just accumulates everywhere. It's a photographer's dream for sure. And also there are winter festivals. There's the Furano Belly Button Festival if you go to Furano. These are some Hokkaido things because they do get more snow. There's snow festivals, such as the Sapporo Snow Festival is very famous, but also Sankyo has one. And Asahi Dake has an ice sculpture contest. Then there's a lot of winter photography in Hokkaido. People go specifically to certain parts. Outside of Furano is the Furano Christmas tree, they call it. It's a very well-known photograph spot, just a gorgeous tree. It gets a lot of attention because it's so cute. And then there's a blue pond and volcanoes, as in my background showed. And then also you can kayak through ice floes. And this is an annual occurrence off of the coast of Ashibiri. And I, again, this is just an amazing experience. I'm not sure where else you could even do that. There are the smoking volcanoes of Tokachi-dake and Asahi-dake, and they're both in the Daisetsuzan National Park. And there are also volcanoes on Nagano. And there's a lot of winter wildlife. I mentioned the Sero before and seeing that from the train from Omachi, between Omachi and Hakuba. There's also the Hokkaido white fox, which I also saw, and there were prints everywhere. They're little, paw prints and winter foods galore. Japan, of course, is very well known for its great food. You not only have the regular oden, ramen, udon, which everyone eats in the winter, but also you have local specialties, and there are heaps of them. And then there are winter museums. There are museums dedicated to skiing, to the 1998 Olympics. There's one dedicated to snowflakes, and there's alpine wildlife. And almost everywhere in Japan, we're going to have historical events that are related to that place. So that's all I have today. Thank you for discovering Japan's winter hidden gems with me. And I think Keiji is going to take over now and introduce us to some products.
Okay. Yes, Amy, thank you for the sharing your that story about winter. It has really built up the anticipation. Now I would like to introduce our recommended products for the winter season. First up are the winter hiking products. Nakasendo Tsumago to Magome winter walking tour, and the Nakasendo Yabuhara to Narai winter walking tour. Here is the Tori Toge between the Yabuhara to Narai. And here is the Potsdam of the Tsumago. Uh, yes, it's a goal point of the hiking tour. And yes, you might associate the Nakasendo Trail in winter with the heavy snow, but that isn't actually the case. While there is some snow accumulation in the mountainous area, it's never very deep. Just like in spring or autumn, the winter allows you to enjoy the quiet, monochrome beauty of the Nakasendo. Generally, no special equipment is required. Now you can hike the popular section between Magome and Tsunago, as well as the stretch from Yabuhara to Narai. It's a good idea to bring chain spike just in case. But if you don't have them, our guide can rent them to you for free, so there is no need to worry. That's what these two section hike tours offer. You can see the Kumano Kodo winter hike tour. Yes, this tour is available all year round. There are several routes along the Kumano Kodo, but the Nakahechi and the Iseji routes are recommended for the winter. To begin with, the Kii Peninsula, home to Kumano Kodo, sees very little snow. Although the Nakahechi route winds through the mountainous terrain and may have some snow accumulation. No special equipment is required. While it's difficult to book the accommodation during spring and autumn, lodgings are wide open in winter. Perhaps travelers simply do not realize that the trail is walkable during the winter month. It would be a great idea to carry chain spike just in case. As for the Iseji route of the Kumano Kodo, it follows for the Pacific coastline. The weather remains very mild even in the dead of winter, with very little snowfall, so you can hike without specialized gear. Accommodations are also readily available. It's highly recommended for those who enjoy hiking with scenic ocean views. And this product is available for booking year round. And the next one is here, Norikura. Yeah, located near Matsumoto, the Norikura area serves as a gateway to the Northern Alps, including destinations like Kamikochi. Highlight of this tour is opportunity to experience Matsumoto Castle at night. The second day that features a snowshoe hike in the Norikura Highlands. That terrain is relatively flat, allows you to enjoy the walking through the Nagano's famous powder snow. Have you heard of Nozawa Onsen, which is a very famous ski area? So Nozawa Onsen is a highly popular ski resort known as its powder snow. With this package, you can just choose between visiting the snow monkeys. Have you heard of snow monkey? You know, bathing is not a hot spring or experiences Kamakura snow hut. The following day, you can enjoy the snowshoe hike on the Mount Nabekura. What makes this experience unique is walking through the forest at night. Specifically, the forest of Mount Nabekura, you walk across the snow, immersing yourself in the silence and sounds and the moonlight that only the night can offer. It's the kind of experience you would love to have, isn't it? Okay. Yeah, thanks to our special connection, your groups can have exclusive all-day access to the Sakai-san Ski Resort in Niigata Prefecture, located just 90 minutes Shinkansen ride from Tokyo. For private skiing experience, this curated itinerary also offers opportunity to immerse yourself in traditional Japanese culture, such as visiting a local rice malt factory to experience that art of traditional fermentation with everything included, private transfers, lift passes, ski rentals, and accommodation in the traditional Japanese style rooms with dinner. Uh, this premium trip promises a unique winter experience found nowhere else. As the result is located on the Sea of Japan side, that snow quality is, of course, the legendary Japan powder snow. Okay, here is the final products. This product is the city tour of Hokkaido, including Sapporo. Its key selling point are snowshoeing in Jozankei, often referred to as Sapporo's inner pearl or retreat, and visit to a whiskey distillery in Yoichi for a tasting experience. That concludes our brief presentation. If you would like to more details, please let us know via email, and my team will assist you. Thank you for joining this webinar.
Thank you, everyone, and we hope to see you this winter.